Gore reading, flesh wound horror freaks, and welcome to Slashtober, the final chapter. I am Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
Good evening.
Pugs Dread.
Namaste.
And the spirit of Halloween himself, Mike Kruger.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
So, Kruger, let them know what our annual Halloween spectacular Slashtober, the final chapter, is all about.
So what we do for our Slashtober special is rate and review a slasher film, and then at the end of the episode, we'll add that movie to a list compiled from our previous episodes, and then we will vote to eliminate one of those films off the list, leaving us with our top 3 slasher films, aka our 3 final girls. And those 3 final girls will go up against a new slasher every episode until we reach day 13. And when we get to that point, we will pick one of those surviving 3 final girls as our Slashtober tournament champion. So, Todd, now that that's out of the way, why don't you tell us our previous eliminations and what's on the menu tonight?
All right. Eliminated thus far is Final Exam, Curtains, Terror at 10 Killer, Open House, Killing Spree, Crazy Lake, Scream 1981, and The Prey. Up for elimination tonight, or added to the mix, is Lover's Lane. Dan, why don't you tell us about 1999's Lover's Lane?
All right. So, from 1999 and director John Stephen Ward, Lover's Lane, a steamy secret tryst that was brutally cut short on Valentine's Day. An unlucky 13 years ago comes back to haunt these teens who linger around the Lover's Lane where the double slaying took place. The county sheriff, Tom Anderson, has just about come to terms with the fact that it was his wife who died in another man's car on that fateful night. His daughter, Mandy, who as a 4-year-old saw her mother's corpse carried away from the scene, has a different take on things. It doesn't help that her classmate Michael lost his father to the same hook-handed homicidal maniac in that night's incident. To cap it all off, as another Valentine's Day comes around, reports come through that the man arrested as the Hook has just burst out of the asylum. All right, so Lover's Lane. Lover's Lane. This is a direct-to-video slasher film in the wake of the Scream era slashers. There were a lot of these, of course. We all know the theatrical ones, but this is in that sort of class with stuff like Do You Want to Know a Secret? Final Stab, Bleed, Killing Mr. Griffith, The Clown at Midnight, which I remember being a decent one, Cut with Molly Ringwald, The Pool, Ripper, Letter from Hell, and Spliced, just to name some.
I've never seen Killing Mr. Whatever you said. Is sure that's not Mrs. Tingle?
No, it was
no. Killing Mr. Griffith was actually, it was based on like a YA horror novel that I never actually read. It came out in 97, so it was one of the early Scream wave.
The home video release definitely played off the Teaching Mrs. Tingle angle.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a DVD of that. We'll have to do it sometime. So yeah, that's just to name a few. So this one's probably most known for the first major appearance of Anna Faris, who just almost immediately after this, the following year, I believe, was in Scary Movie, and the rest is history, of course. So there's some stuff to like in this film. I'm not as fond of this era as some. And I think if you do have a soft spot for those post-Scream 90s, early 2000s slashers, there is something to like. I like the subtle references to 50s sitcoms, the murder victims in the opening are Ward and June. I thought that was, kind of funny, especially considering the target audience wouldn't have got any of it.
I didn't think they were very subtle, though, because it's literally names.
Yeah, but you're just watching the movie. Maybe you're
That's
not
for the
thinking about
parents that rented it for their younger kid. Like, oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, most people didn't
Car.
catch like Sleepaway Camp 3, and it's like literally the whole names too. So I get
Yeah.
it. People overlook it.
Car 54. Like, yeah, there's some references to that. Most of the kills are off screen, and that's not that uncommon for this era. There's I will say that the Blu-ray that Arrow just put out is a huge upgrade over the old DVD, which is an ancient DVD, and it is kind of like watching the movie for the first time. There's a little bit of there's some boobs in this, but it's not lit well, so you don't get to see a lot of it. I'm just saying they're there.
Crybaby.
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to defend Dan on this. Dan's got the titties covered, and Kruger's got the gore. If either of those are missing, one of them will complain about it. It's just part of the core.
We're gonna bitch. We're gonna bitch. It's not the worst of this wave of films by any means. I get it. I get the charm that is there. I'm not as fond of that era, but I don't hate this movie. This is the first time I've watched it in probably a decade or more, and it'll probably be at least that long before I'd ever have to watch it again. But it's entertaining enough. It's reasonably well paced. It's
it's 90s when you got the Zach Morris lookalike in like the first 10 minutes.
Watching this film, and I think I said it years ago, it just kind of makes me want to watch Urban Legend. That's the better movie, and actually I think Urban Legend's better than Scream personally. I'm in that camp, but I was never a Scream guy, so this movie's just okay.
Well, outside of the opening scene, I thought the first 40 minutes were really fucking boring. But the characters are semi-charming in that 90s cheesy sort of way. But I wasn't really into the relationship drama in the beginning of the story. But things do finally pick up when the slasher elements get going. And there's a lot, but there's like a ton of off-screen kills. And then the kills that you do see are just extremely basic and not creative at all. The killer is also kind of basic. I like the hook hand, as a weapon, but the look with the jumpsuit just didn't work for me. And he's definitely no Candyman or, the fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer. And as a whole, I mean, I don't think it's a bad slasher by any means. It's just not anything special either. If I was more into like the beginning of the movie, I probably would have liked it way more. But there is one great line in this movie. Do you know which one I'm going to say?
I don't.
You're going to fuck me now or I'm going to kill your bleeping ass.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
That was the best.
You know what? I didn't want to bring that up just because of the bleep part. But yeah,
I was going to say it, but I didn't want Todd to do more work. So.
Honestly, I would have proposed right there. You know what? You're the
There's
one.
a lot of one-liner attempts with our male hero trying to channel Ash a little bit. But, yeah, I kind of, this movie makes me wish I liked it more, but it's another one that's just okay for me.
I enjoy it. It's funny. I watched it last year because I was like, I haven't watched it in years for Valentine's Day. Or was that this year? Shit. Might have been earlier this year. No. It was definitely last year because I didn't watch it this year. So I do like this one. I don't know. Maybe I do need a few years in between watching it a few times because it was very like I just watched it. It felt like to me. I do enjoy it. I get why Kruger didn't like the first half. It is one I will revisit, just not annually. So maybe in a couple years I'll check it out on Valentine's Day again. I don't know. It's not like there's a lot of Valentine's horror, so but yeah, I think it's worth a watch, especially if you like that 90s era post Scream. But it does definitely feel like the 90s, which I think watching it this time I did enjoy more because watching. But yeah.
That shit feels good. Well, for me, I'm pretty sure you guys picked up on it. I do like teen dramas like a lot. Clueless, even though it's like more comedy. Awkward, again, more comedy. And like Euphoria, which now my boys are on board. Fuck
I
yeah.
like Euphoria. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking great. So like I kind of love this movie, even though the kills are off screen and like the gore it's not lacking, but it could have been more. If you're gonna show at post kill gore, just make it super bloody. Like that would enhance it a lot more. I like the dynamics of the characters interacting with each other. I liked the twist. The slasher could look cooler. Like it was pretty.
It was by the numbers.
It
It was
sub basic. Yeah. Make it pop, and that didn't happen. But that didn't take away any of my enjoyment of this. I kind of love this movie. I liked it a lot.
Nice.
Kind of thought you might, Pugs.
Even if it didn't have like the murder aspect, I still would have been into the group.
Fondness for this era really helps with this.
And
It
also,
probably,
I'm a gigantic Scream fan, so yeah, it was meant
Yeah.
towards aimed at me.
yeah. Better than Scream 3 for sure.
Well, I mean, what do you? It's Scream 3. Sorry.
Giving it some pats, Todd. I'm giving it some pats.
And you know what? And I've turned the we're not having a Scream 3 discussion. But with the new, yeah.
So
Let's rate it. Kruger,
Yeah.
I am a 2.5 out of 5.
Pugs.
4 out of 5.
ooh, 2.5 is fair for me too.
I'm a 3 out of 5.
All right.
All right, so let's go. Okay, up for elimination, we have Pickaxe, Death on Demand, Graduation Day, and Lover's Lane. All right, Kruger.
Do you even need to ask me at this point?
Pickaxe for Kruger. Pugs.
Graduation Day.
Dan.
Oh yeah, the Macho Dan guest reviewer for the evening. He thinks that it's time for Lover's Lane to drive off the cliff. Oh yeah, Lover's Lane.
I should have went first. Because I'm fighting for Pickaxe.
Well, not really.
Well, I haven't had to. It keeps going through. I loved it. That's my favorite of the bunch. So.
Oh, and that tasteless joke about driving off the cliff
Okay,
had
who
nothing
did
to do with the Macho Man.
Who did everyone have? Kruger's Pickaxe.
I voted Graduation Day.
I'm
And-
Lover's Lane.
I'm Death on Demand. Fight it out.
I vote Pickaxe. Pickaxe
wait.
can go.
So we have a 4-way tie, correct?
Yeah.
Not anymore. I just picked Pickaxe. Bye.
Well,
Yeah, you
My
did.
plan backfired.
But wait, if we have a
you
four-way
have to
tie-
have a killer battle. first.
Yeah.
we do have.
You
to.
can't bypass a killer battle, so we have a 4-way killer battle.
Fuck my life.
Okay,
I mean,
who
you have
gets,
to have the killer battle. You can't just.
All right.
who gets eliminated first?
All right. So,
All right, let's see. Killer wise, I'm gonna say not Death on Demand. That guy's a ghost and he's a badass too.
I could have sworn if we don't settle it on a debate, that's when we go to who kills who.
Well, a lot of people then can change their vote. I can just change my vote.
That's what we've
to
done in the
whatever
past.
Todd picked. Then we still have a tie. I'll change my vote to.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because I
All
would.
right.
No,
have
I
the same
don't.
pick.
let's
Technically, Pugs is correct. We do allow arguments too, but this is the argument. This is the this is the argument
Yeah.
that decides. Like,
Yeah.
Not a lot of 4-way ties that I can remember.
I think this is our first 4-way tie.
Yeah,
Well,
that's why.
all
I'm
right.
like,
So we have ghosts
Pugs is
from.
annoyed.
So we
No,
have
I just,
ghosts.
we're just making shit up
So
as we go. That's cool.
all right. Let's go who's safe first. I'm gonna say Death on Demand being a supernatural
I wouldn't.
slasher and not a tough guy to fight. I think you'd have to acknowledge that.
He's a family annihilator. He's a pussy. Next.
Let's see, Lover's Lane. I'm not saying that guy's too tough in a one-on-one with another.
Well, spoilers, there's 2.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, still. It's not taking out a ghost like that.
Stupid Dan. Okay.
I'll agree with that. As of right
Oh my
now,
God.
Death on Demand would be the killer that I think would survive. I think he takes out Pickaxe, dude. Look at the way Pickaxe fucking died.
All right, so that Death on Demand safe, we got Lover's Lane, Pickaxe, and Graduation Day. I'm gonna say the Graduation guy's kind of a bitch and is not beating either. And I'm not a Lover's Lane guy, but I'd have to. I'm being fair on the killer battle.
Honestly, Graduation
I would-
Day would have been my pick, but I couldn't make myself say it.
And I also have the option to change my vote to Graduation
You
Day,
son of
so,
fucking-
which I will do if Pugs is changing his vote. So that still gives us a tie. So
Well,
we're
what the fuck are we doing?
I
Are
don't
we battling
understand what
out
the
of
fuck-
All right,
Come
let's
on.
do it again. Let's do it again. Kruger, who do you pick?
fucking Pickaxe to go?
Graduation Day. Pugs.
Graduation Day.
Dan.
Graduation Day.
You fucking cocksuckers.
Good.
I have to save Pickaxe.
You
I
fucking
would rather.
No, you don't. I was ready to give it away, but
I would rather Lover's Lane have gone, but I will change my
We
vote.
would have left it to the four-way. Fucking, we would have actually had an argument for Pickaxe. Pugs, why did you do this to me?
I chose Pickaxe on my second round, and you before that was allowed. Now all of a sudden it's not.
That's why I just said fuck it. We're gonna vote.
Goodbye, Graduation Day.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, we spun the wheel twice, and it is Graduation
Dan, shut the fuck up.
Day that
Yeah,
gets the axe.
Dan,
Dan,
don't-
just wrap it. Do we have anything else to do?
I'm
before
now
we
going to hold back security as Kruger's attacking you, Dan.
Sorry. Blame Bugs. Happy Halloween, guys, and it's gonna be a fiery finale. Hashtag blame Pugs. We'll see you next
That's
time.
racist, sir.
Good evening.
Fuck Pickaxe.
Check your candy. I'll see you in Disneyland.